Guidelines for safety. We're sharing this information with you to be able to say that as an industry, we need to set new bars and new standards for us to work with together. We need to be able to figure out how we're working under the current OMMA structure. Of course, we always need to be considering how can we make this whole system work better, which is going to take some kind of legislature, ballot measure, or court action. In the meantime, we need to be responsible businesses, above responsible, and we need to have some guidelines. We also need to reduce our risk and liability, but we have to have solutions that work for every model. First of all, example of guidelines would be memberships, applications, documentation, records, just suggested good practices to use. Rules and policies are very important. Methods of transactions are extremely important, can make or break your day. Of course, possession and cultivation limits are important, security and operations. Types of standards we need, of course, are personal safety, product safety, member safety, public safety, and clear operating rules. Points of safety for personal operations, procedures, and knowledge. For member, rules and procedures, record keeping, limits, diversion, and product safety. For the public, protecting public safety, and that also ties in with diversion, not allowing our medicine to get out there into the hands of people who it's not meant for. And of course, testing is a big one. For product safety, some of these things are already standards that we don't have to design. All we have to do is adopt. Yes, someday there'll be federal kitchens. Yes, you can turn a garage into a federal kitchen with just a little bit of wainscoting and some stainless steel appliances. It's not that difficult. Yes, we should be learning how to treat medical marijuana at least as a food product. We recommend that all of the clubs and all of the people who handle any of these products should absolutely have their food handler's card from the state of Oregon. You can go online, and in about 10 minutes, $10 bucks in 20 minutes, you can get your food handler's card. You can hang your plaque on the wall. Things that we have a problem with in our industry that we need to develop and look at is dosage and consistency in testing. Very important things. We need to have a mild, medium hot salsa. We can't just have a cookie that sends grandma to the moon. We need to remind our manufacturers and our producers and our patients of that. The Club Pitbull model is really pretty simple. It's membership-based. It's a patient-grower exchange program. We work on a reimbursement model. So basically, we facilitate exchanges. Our entire member income is through membership fees, not upgrading medicine or reselling medicine at a higher price whatsoever. It's about like having a farmer's market under glass where the farmers can bring in their stuff, and it's managed through a monitored system to make sure that we're monitoring compliance. For your possession and cultivation guidelines, of course, only keep as much as you can ever cover with available cards wherever you're at with any medicine that you always have. That's just a smart thing to do. We believe in creating safety and certification with compliance, farm-to-table kind of quality assurance. We don't own any of our clubs. We just help them have safe operating rules, help them integrate with their communities, get involved, make sure that their permitting and licensing is correct, represent them when they have to go before a city council, neighborhood association. We have a membership application process. We have membership rules. We have an extensive security psyche. But the most important thing that we can all do together is integration with our communities. Becoming a member of our community, becoming a member of our local Kiwanis Club or neighborhood association, chambers of commerce. Becoming a member of that community is so important for us as businesses. This is not about being an underground basement business. It's about being an out front, legitimate player. We need this integration with our doctors. We need this with our universities, with our cities and counties, with our neighborhoods, with our individuals, with our legislators and our representatives. There are fields that already relate to ours. I'd like to remind folks that besides the healthcare field, of course, there's agriculture and medicine. We believe in integration, not agitation, fitting in. We do this by providing leadership and direction. We interface with the local community and business to build commerce. We interface with law enforcement to ensure public safety. Yes, we do have a plan for that. By the way, just to let you know that Serene Dreams was absolutely open to the officials. We had their compliance officers from the Hillsborough Police Department in to review all of our operations and to give us the okay and the permitting processes that we went through, etc. We thought they were our friends. It was an open door policy. We always had the donuts and coffee waiting. It's important to have them on our side. We want to interface at federal levels. It's going to happen sooner or later. The feds right now are under a lot of pressure to slow the momentum of this industry down. And they're very effective at their means to do it. We hear from our friends in Michigan that a lot of the Michigan dispensaries and clubs have been shut down. California, there are many, many of them that are shut down from the intimidation factor of the federal government. And now with the most recent court case where the cities can actually ban dispensaries. Sacramento has a new law in place for the county beside the city where all the clubs have to completely shut down. They've been forced to shut down just this last week. You'll hear about this in the papers tomorrow. They just told them today that they can reopen with this new licensing operation as long as they don't grow outdoors and they pay $1,000 per square foot, $100 per square foot of growing space indoors. That's a tax per year. So the business there is all about, the cities are integrating. It's better if we go out and integrate with them ahead of time before they come in later and tell us what the fees are going to be. Public relations is so important. And we are in control. The biggest thing that we have is attitudinal barriers. So we need to check our attitude at the door. Passion is something that all of us have in us. That's why we're in this business. But sometimes that passion can overtake our common sense. So sometimes we need to just take a breath, take a step back, and think about that. Be careful what we say and who we're saying to. Be an example to our members. That's so important for us. Being very careful at public and community events. Thinking about the impact of how voters view us. This is something that was brought up to me at a Seaside Town Hall meeting where we had a town hall meeting at the council chambers. The public was invited. There were many great speakers there from many different groups. There was rather a chatter between the groups as to who was on board for what movement, what idea. And some little old lady stood up in the back of the room and said, you know, I'm so tired of hearing you activists argue amongst each other. Don't you understand how much it turns off the regular taxpayer? The regular person who's out there that's not a medical patient that also votes for your kinds of initiatives. When they hear you fighting amongst yourselves, it turns me off to the whole thing. Otherwise, I would have voted for it. I'm not against marijuana as medicine. I'm against all this arguing that you guys can't get it together. So it's very important for us to think about what the voter out there that's not a medical marijuana patient thinks. Don't waste our time fighting our comrades. There's a lot to do. There's a lot of battles. They're all good. We all need to be out there supporting each other, supporting everyone else's business, and helping each other to grow better and stronger together. Commend in public, condemn in private. That's always the motto we want to keep in mind. Remember the news media discrimination. There's absolutely no truth and lots of Leo information in the news. It's tough to get a break there, but we have the control and it's our responsibility to be able to control our members